I didn't want to be a poor professor when I could be a more rich businessman.
Hey my friends, I'm Zach. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to ask elder people about their biggest regrets in life and life advice for somebody like your age. So let's jump into the conversation. How old are you?
I'm 75. I've only just turned 75.
Wow.
Like 3 days ago.
Oh, okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
That's 3/4 of a century. So I feel very honoured that I've got to that age because many of my friends had passed before they got to that age. So I'm feeling very lucky.
How old are you?
I'm 79.
And I'm 82.
So what does it feel like to be 79 and 82?
No, I think I'm happier actually than I have ever been, really. You know much more about yourself and you're tired, but at the same time you're not completely tired. And I'm interested in things
Yes.
and curious.
Well, and you're able to see grandchildren. If you live to this age, see grandchildren and your own children become middle-aged. And you have that, you're lucky to be able to see over a long period of time. So you've seen families grow up and that sort of thing.
Yes.
So it's nice to still be alive.
How old are you, both of you guys?
I'm over 50.
Over 50.
74.
You're 74?
Yeah.
What does it feel like to be 74 and over 50?
Fit and healthy. It feels no different to, I don't feel 50-year-old. It's interesting. It's very hard to explain because it happens whether you like it or not. Aging.
Yes. What is one big mistake or regret you have made and learned a valuable lesson from?
When I graduated with my degree from Sydney University, I had strong ideas about becoming an academic and becoming a university lecturer, doing my PhD. And the other choice was I could go into the business world. And I thought about this long and hard because I really liked the idea of being an academic, of teaching other students mathematics. But in the end, I decided I didn't want to be a poor professor when I could be a more rich businessman. And so I chose the businessman. And to be honest, for the rest of my life, I felt like I made the wrong decision.
You make choices in your life and you have to live with the choices that you've made. I am a painter and I could have not had children and I could have concentrated on my career and I would be painting better at 79 than I am. I don't regret it. The children have been the joy of my life. But it would have been different if I had concentrated just on the painting. So you make decisions and you live with the consequences. That's probably the biggest thing that I've learned.
Likewise, if I hadn't had children, I had 5 children and I lived in the country. So I did have a little bit of a career, but I had to travel an hour and a half to get to work and back. So I had a very limited career to what I might have had if I didn't have children and if I didn't live out in the country 85 kilometres from the nearest big centre. But I don't regret that because it's wonderful to have children in the next generation and their children. It's a wonderful connecting thing with the community and life.
If you could go back in time, knowing what you know today, and give one piece of advice to your younger self, let's say 20-year-old self or 25-year-old self, what would you say to that person?
If I was at that age, I would say start art earlier.
Start your career earlier.
Just maintain friendships. That's very important. We've had friends that have been friends for since late 70s. So it's a big thing to maintain good friendship and work at maintaining good friends.
Trust your instincts, do what you enjoy doing, because in whatever you do during your life, if you work in a job that you are doing things that you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life. You'll always be enjoying life. you'll always be happy almost all the time if you trust your instincts, trust what your first preferences are, trust what your first ideas are. They're probably the right ideas.
We're here for a short time. Enjoy yourself as much as you can.
Yeah, I go along with that. It's you've no control over what's going to happen in your life anyway. Think you do, but you don't. And what happens, happens. Make the most of it, day by day, rather than worrying too much about too far down the track.
Go with your passion and not be held back by what your parents thought. Even though you loved them very deeply, their influence wasn't right for you to grow and develop at that critical time. I love them, but they did things that stopped me doing important stuff.
Could you explain a bit more about this thing?
The basic thing was I won a scholarship to dance overseas when I was a teenager, and although my mother helped me sit for it, and it was Australia-wide, and then my father said, no, you can't do it. And this was, it doesn't matter finally whether you were good enough or bad enough if you went that route, if you did the dancing. But I didn't get to fail on my own terms. Do you understand that answer?
So you finally,
I should have done it and then seen where it took me. But I wasn't strong enough, or I wasn't quite old enough as well, but still to say, no, I'm going to ignore you and I'm going to keep pursuing this. So yeah, so they thought they were doing the right thing, but it wasn't the right thing for my self-development because I needed to be at a point where I made decisions and followed through and learned to live with the consequences, not suffer from someone else making the decision.
Thank you for watching this video. What do you think of this topic? What's your regrets in life and anything you would like to share? Let me know in the comments. I will see you in the next one.